evidence-based management and how do you make management decisions based on evidence. And she teaches, in fact, those two courses at Heinz, both evidence-based management and organizational change, both very popular courses for students in our MPM program. Okay, so our version of public management is really one that's building your problem-solving skills, one that's honed in on evidence, analytics, and technology. So what does that look like with coursework? Well, I'm going to talk about that. Really, it's three main pillars in our core curriculum. Analysis and modeling is one of them. So yes, you'll learn statistics and economics and financial analysis, not through the lens of an analyst, but really through the lens of a manager. How do you use information as a manager to work with other individuals who may be doing the regression analysis and you're doing the interpretation of that? You'll also learn, I think very distinctive in our curriculum, is a class called Optimization and Risk Modeling. So how do you use Excel to create mathematical models to really optimize decision making? How do you use it to make efficient decisions, effective decisions when there is a lot of uncertainty? Also, another distinctive feature of our curriculum is that we've embedded technology courses into our core, and two specifically, one on database management, which really is the information systems backbone of any organization. How do you store information? How do you query it? How do you connect different databases? Again, it's through the manager's lens. So you'll be working with maybe the technology folks. You'll know the right questions to ask when you're interfacing with technology individuals. We also have a class on business analytics. So there's a lot of buzzwords out there: big data, machine learning, algorithms. What does that all mean? You'll get a landscape of what that means, and also really get your hands a little dirty about doing some predictive analysis work so that you're able, yes, to interface with the data scientists. We're not teaching you to be a data scientist, but also just walk a little bit in their shoes so you get a good grasp of the curriculum. And so really, honing in again, as I mentioned, on the evidence and the technology aspects to inform decision making, but it's also very critical to focus on implementation. And as we know, often that soft skills, that translates into soft skills. So understanding power and influence within organizations, but also communication skills are critical, both oral and written. And this is, again, embedded into our core curriculum. And so with that, why study our Masters of Public Management? Well, we feel that our curriculum will really help to enhance your leadership, your analytical skills, and your quantitative skills. And why does this matter? So you can make an impact, both within your organization and we hope society as well. We want you to advance in your current role, or maybe pivot into a new role or find a new job. So really climbing up that ladder oftentimes requires a master's degree. And so, staying where you are or pivoting is an option for many of our graduates. And because we are at Heinz and we bring in such interdisciplinary faculty, we also are able to attract world-class faculty that you'll be interfacing with as a student within our program. And we understand you are a working professional and you have both your job and your personal life. And so there's a lot of flexibility in our curriculum. Most students complete our part-time program between 2.5 and 3 years by taking 1.5 and 2 courses. I won't go into the details, but we do have some 7-week courses and some 14-week courses, hence the half. And our classes are offered in the evening. So after work, typically once a week with the 3-hour block, but we also have some late afternoon classes. And if you have the flexibility, you can also tap into some of our daytime courses. And finally, we have a partnership with PHRA, and we offer a scholarship for all members who are admitted into the MPM program. It's a minimum scholarship of tuition that's 30%. And there's no separate application when you apply. You simply indicate as part of the application that you are a member of PHRA. And that'll be automatically applied upon and then also reviewed for more additional aid. So with that, I will stop my share. Hand over the baton.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So sorry about this, everybody. Bear with me just 1 second. All right, is everybody able to see the screen okay? Perfect.
I am so sorry. I was talking away and was on mute. I was just saying, Catherine, take your time. Thomas, you're on deck. So if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and telling us a little bit about Point Park University's undergraduate as well as their graduate programs.
Sure thing. Thanks, Liz. So hi, everybody. My name's Tom. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions at Point Park University. And I do work with all of the programs at Roland School of Business. I've been at Point Park for about 2 years, but I've just been working with Roland School of Business for about a month now. So I'm really excited to be diving in and getting a little bit more involved with these programs. So just to give kind of like a general overview, we have some of our programs that we thought might be relevant to you all here listed on the slide. This certainly is not all of the programs that we offer. Roland School of Business does offer a few more under degrees. But just to kind of, like I said, give you a general overview of what we have. We have our undergrad HR management degree here, which is offered on ground and also fully online. And we also have a post-bac option of that degree, which is about 39 credits and also is offered fully online. And then one of our more popular programs we have for our undergrad students, we have like a 4+1 degree where you can get your HR management bachelor's degree from Point Park. And then you go on and do one more year with a master's degree in HR from IUP. And so you go for 5 years and then you come out with a bachelor's and a master's in HR management. Like I mentioned, that's one of the more popular programs we have at Roland School of Business. We get a lot of inquiries and questions about that. And like I already mentioned, a lot of our programs, something that I hear from students that they really like, we have a lot of options as far as having classes on ground and having classes fully online or a hybrid of the two. Point Park has been offering fully online classes for about 7 or 8 years. So we have a really good system in place where we can kind of make it work for you with whatever you need. And all of our graduate programs, we do have like a focus on people who are working full time. So for any of our grad programs, all of our classes are in the evenings, typically 1 day a week, so that people who are working full time have an easier time making that work. And so we went over like I said, just an overview of like the bachelor's degree, the post-bac, the 4+1, and we also have a couple of graduate degrees also, which I've been working with for a little bit longer, so I'm a little bit more familiar with these. Our MBA program, that's definitely our most popular graduate program. You see there, we have 8 different concentrations within that program. And we also do have options to kind of pair the MBA program with some of our other grad programs. Like you can take the MBA program at the same time as one of our communications degrees or our information systems program, which is also listed there. I mean, obviously it's a lot more credits, so it takes a little bit longer, but it is a nice option if you're maybe looking to specialize in something else, exclusively, or you want to get, it just depends on, what your goals are and kind of what field you're working in. We get a lot of people who are kind of, working in a certain area, maybe communications, maybe information systems, maybe something else. They want to get that MBA to kind of take the next step up in their career, but they also want to stay sharp on the communication side of things or maybe learn more about it. So that's just to say that we do have really a lot of different options for you if you're interested in specializing or kind of branching out within these degrees. Both of these graduate programs, the MBA and our information systems program, are 36 credits and usually take students about 4 semesters or 2 years to complete, which is generally pretty standard, I think, for graduate programs. And if I could get the next slide to just to talk about the admissions process a little bit. And if it feels like I kind of rushed through the programs a little bit, or maybe didn't touch on something you're wondering about, you can feel free to ask in the chat or email me anytime.
Okay, bear with me 1 second. These might be slightly out of order. There we go.
Thanks. All right, so the admissions process, like I mentioned, this is kind of the side of things that I'm a lot more familiar with. If you have any questions about this, please reach out anytime. It's relatively straightforward. So for any of our programs, you can apply online. I have the link right there in the slide. We don't have a fee and there's no deadlines to apply. Either we do rolling admissions at Point Park. If you're applying to the undergrad program or the post-bac program, all we need after you submit your application is an official transcript from any other schools you've attended. And it's basically, we have a GPA requirement for the undergrad and the post-bac program. And then for the graduate applications, we do need a bit more from you in addition to the application. We'll need all your transcripts along with a resume, a statement of purpose, and 2 letters of recommendation. Typically, like if you apply, say you apply today and you have all of your documents ready to go, you should have a decision from us within a week or 2. It's usually a lot faster than that. And that's basically the rundown of the admissions process. I mentioned the rolling admissions. Most of our programs enroll in School of Business, especially the online ones. You can start any semester. You can start in the fall, spring, or summer. Just keeping in mind that there are sometimes less classes offered in the summer, but it's definitely an option, more so with our online programs. And yeah, I think that's basically the basics of what I was going to mention. I feel like I kind of sped through it, but my contact info is here on the slide as well. So if you ever have any questions about, our admissions process or any of our programs, you can definitely feel free to reach out. I know she was not able to join us today, but the program director for a lot of our HR programs, Dr. Sandra Mervosh, she's really great. She enjoys talking with prospective students, and she can give you some really great information. The dedication of our faculty is usually something that I hear is a huge positive point from our current students. And Dr. Mervosh is no exception to that. So if you have questions that you'd like to ask her about, feel free to reach out to me, and I would be glad to put you in touch. So I think that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. And I agree. Sandy is amazing. She's very active within our with the PHRA and some of our student members. So appreciate all of that. The next university, though, that we would like to bring to the screen is Roche University. So Danielle, would you please like to talk a little bit about Roche and some of their great program features?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being a member of this panel. My name is Danielle Ball. I'm the admission counselor that works with graduate students at Roche. And I'm here to talk about our Master's in Human Resources Management program. We do have a couple other grad programs. We have an MSIS and a Master's in Accounting too. But mainly I thought people would be interested in the Master of Science in Human Resources. So the central objective of our Master of Science program is to enable students to become advanced practitioners in a professional HR role or a business field, and to provide students with a foundation for doctoral study. SHRM has confirmed that La Roche University's Master of Science in Human Resources program fully aligns with SHRM's HR curriculum, guidebook, and templates. So some of the highlights of our program, you can complete the program fully online, fully face-to-face, or a combination of both. It's flexible and convenient. You can complete it at your own pace. We have accelerated 8-week classes available. There are also 16-week classes in the program. What's nice about the 8-week and 16-week, you can do a combination. So you can maybe take an 8-week course August through October, and then one October through December. So there's 2 courses right there, and you can combine it with a 16-week course. So you're only taking 2 classes at a time, but accomplishing 9 credits. So it kind of gets you done a little quicker. There are 36 credits to complete in the program, and there are multiple start dates. So you can start in May, August, October, January, and March. We are partners with the PHRA, so members can receive a 20% discount on their graduate courses. We just need to see your membership letter or some proof that you're a member. La Roche also has a delayed payment option available if you're receiving tuition reimbursement. So if tuition for fall is due July 10th, you can actually delay your payment until 30 days from the date the semester grades are posted, which would be in January. So that gives you time to get your grade, turn it into your employer, get your reimbursement, and pay the Roche. So for some companies or some students, that keeps you from paying out of pocket. If you didn't want to dive into the full master's program, we have 12 credit certificate programs available. We have one in self-design, which you can choose your courses, 12 credits of whatever you're interested in. We have an HR generalist certificate, an HR consultant certificate, and a strategic HR professional certificate. All of the certificate program classes count toward the master's. So if you start in a certificate program and you want to continue on to the master's, those courses will go toward that. You can also take classes, take random classes that you're interested in as a transient student. So I have a student right now that isn't really interested in the program, but they're interested in our legal aspects class to gain a little more knowledge. So that's an option for students too. There is a lot of information on our website about the program. You can contact me at any time through phone, email, Zoom, whatever, I'm available. So I'd be happy to talk more about the specifics of the program or connect you with the director of our program if you should have specific curriculum questions or things like that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I appreciate that. Up next, we have Robert Morris University. Shannon, would you like to talk to us a little bit about the program at Robert Morris?
Absolutely. And I'm going to share my screen if that's okay.
Sure thing.
Okay. Absolutely. Bear with me 1 second. All right.
All right. Can everyone see the Get Ready to Rise?
Sure can.
All right. Perfect. So thank you for having me here today. My name is Shannon McNamara. I am the Director of Graduate Transfer and Online Admissions at Robert Morris University. And I'm going to be talking about our Graduate School of Business, specifically our MBA and MS in Human Resources Management degree. So the first thing I want to discuss is RMU means business. So our School of Business has been around for a very long time. Some of you may have heard that RMU started out as a school of accountancy nearly 100 years ago and has progressed to a university. In terms of business, we are very proud to say that we are an Aacsb accredited institution, which is important, we know, to students looking for a high level business degree at the master's level. We have 3 graduate degrees in business at RMU. So we have our MBA, our MS in Human Resources Management, as well as a dual degree where you can earn your MBA and your MS in Human Resource Management together. Additionally, we have 6 graduate certificates that are stackable. So you can earn these certificates either on their own. So if you're maybe interested in returning to school but don't want to jump right into a master's degree, you could start with one of these certificates. Or if you are ready to start that master's degree, you can add one of these certificates into your degree, and it will be integrated into the degree of the 30 credit program. So you won't have additional coursework to complete or time to completion. These graduate certificates can be integrated into your master's degree. So I mentioned our Aacsb accreditation. That is something we are proud to have. We did earn that accreditation in 2009. What does that mean to you? That means we have the highest quality faculty. We go through a rigorous review by the accrediting body to make sure that we are offering appropriate curriculum and coursework. We provide education and career opportunities that are not found at all business schools. And we know that our graduates have very highly skilled and desirable outcomes that, you know, sometimes aren't the same as non-accredited schools. Not to say that non-accredited is not great as well, but we just like to tout the accreditation. So if you're interested in earning one of our master's degrees in the business area or human resources, these are 10 courses or 30 credits. 7 of the courses are required and 3 are electives. So earlier I mentioned the certificates that you can earn. Those certificates are 9 credits. So those 3 electives can be used towards your certificate, which, like I said, allows you to earn your master's degree and a certificate within that 30 credits. We have 5 starts per year, so you can start sooner than you think. All of our courses are taught in 8-week accelerated sessions. They are fully online degrees. However, our core courses, the 7 core courses, are also taught on ground at our Moon campus in the evenings, and that goes from 6 to 10. So let's say you're studying our MBA in the fully online format, but one of the courses you're concerned about maybe is the finance course, and you think that you would do better in an on-ground class. You do have that option to come to an on-ground class, whether it's for one class, a handful of classes, that's up to you. So that option is available to you. Our students are working professionals, and these degrees are intended to be part-time completion degrees. And most of our students do complete our degrees in less than 2 years. Here are some of the certificates available in terms of the MBA and HR. And as I said, they are stackable. One of the courses is a requirement in the 7 course requirement for each degree. And then the 3 electives make up that 12 credit online certificate. So we have certificates in business analytics, project management, supply chain, and logistics, also in labor relations. So many different options to choose from to personalize your degree. In terms of the application process, it's straightforward. You can apply online for free, rmu.edu/apply. We do need a current resume as well as all final and official transcripts, 2 signed letters of reference, a 1-page essay telling us why you're interested in pursuing your degree. We do have rolling admission, so there's no deadline to apply. A GMAT score is required for the MBA and for the MS in Human Resource Management. However, there are GMAT waivers available. For example, if you attended an AACSB undergraduate school and earned a business degree and have a 3.0 or higher, you automatically have a GMAT waiver. We also consider professional work experience, and we make those decisions on a case-by-case basis. And our program director, Dr. Jody Potter, will work with you one-on-one to determine if you're able to receive the GMAT waiver. So some final thoughts. As students at Robert Morris University, you're going to have people who are going to work with you from admission to graduation. So that's a dedicated enrollment manager, like the people who work on my team. So Sabrina Mitchell is one of them, and so is Habist Asfa. You'll also have a dedicated academic advisor that will work with you throughout your degree at RMU. Our Career and Professional Development Center helps with everything from resume building to mock interviewing and just professional development. We know that funding your education is always something important to students. There's the financial aid option of filing the FAFSA form. We have corporate tuition discounts, and we do happen to have a discount for PHRA members, and that's a 15% tuition discount. We also have payment plans and deferred tuition invoicing as well. So many options to take advantage of. If you'd like more information, you can certainly contact me. I have my email address up on the screen there. It's simply my last name, McNamara, @rmu.edu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shannon. I appreciate that. Thank you all for the very detailed program features. It really does sound like there's a program here that could fit the needs of anyone interested in advancing their education. So Tom and Shannon did provide us information on the admissions process for Point Park University and Robert Morris University. However, I'd like to hear more about the process of admissions for Heinz College as well as the Roche University. So Brian, let's start with you. Can you elaborate a little bit on the admissions process at Heinz College?
Sure. Let me share my screen. I have a slide with some more details about our admissions process.
Sure thing.
Is everybody able to see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, great. So at Heinz College, we have for MPM a free online application. So you'll go to our website to apply. And the application deadline for the fall 2021 start for MPM will be July 1st, 2021. Our requirements are an official transcript for your bachelor's degree. We also require 2 letters of recommendation from professional recommenders. We do accept GRE or GMAT scores if you happen to have those. That's not required, but we will accept them if you've taken those exams. And for any non-native English speakers, we do require either the TOEFL or IELTS. We ask for a copy of your professional resume. And then finally, we'll need a copy of your essay explaining more about your academic background, why you're interested in our program, and what your career goals would be. And for any admissions questions, I'm happy to help. You could send me an email. My email is here on the screen, and I'm happy to schedule a Zoom call to talk more about our admissions process at Heinz College.
Thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate that. Danielle, you're next. Would you like to talk about the admissions process at La Roche University? And give
Yes.
Catherine here just a minute to get that slide for you. There you go. She's fast.
Thank you. She is. So the admission requirements for La Roche require you to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. If you're an international student, we need proof of equivalent education. You need to have a 3.0 or higher in your upper level, upper division undergraduate coursework. So maybe you didn't start out your coursework as an undergrad so strong. So that's why we take a look at your junior and senior level to see that 3.0. If you didn't end your undergrad so strong either, we have a solution for that. We can get you conditionally accepted in our certificate program. And that gives you kind of a chance to prove yourself. So if you do well in the certificate, then you can be fully admitted to the master's program. So we obviously need an application. We have an online application on our website. It is free to apply. We also need a current resume, 2 letters of recommendation, an essay explaining your professional and academic goals, and then of course, official transcripts from all your previous colleges and universities. I do want to mention that we do have a prereq class that is needed. It is a human resource undergraduate class. So if you did not have that, but you work in the human resource profession, you would be able to maybe get waived out of that. We have our director take a look at your professional background and you could get waived from it. But if you're looking to switch careers or something like that and don't have an HR background, we do have a 3-credit undergraduate course prereq. And if you have any questions about our admission process, again, please contact me.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for the excellent information on the program features and admission processes for all the different universities here today. I'm sure that this discussion has triggered many questions, and I know that some have put some questions in the chat. So if you want to, participants, if you want to put questions in the chat or unmute and speak, please go ahead. But I do have one that I'm going to address first here. And it is kind of a loaded question here. So it is, what is the return on investment on college and grad school? And what do careers look like for the alumni from the programs? So again, I know this is fully loaded, and I'm first going to turn this to Brian to see at Heinz College what this would look like. So could you begin addressing these questions? And then if anybody else on the panel wants to chime in, please do so. So just to recap, the questions are, what is the return on investment for the grad school? And what do some of the careers look like for the alumni?
Sure, great question. So for MPM, first I would say commend anyone who's considering going back to school for a master's degree or going for a bachelor's degree, it's a great investment for your professional career. And it's definitely a major undertaking, a lot of investment of time and dedication required to complete any of these programs. So we definitely think it's great that you're here today to learn more about the options and to make this investment in your education and your career. In terms of ROI for the MPM program at Heinz College, I would say that the program helps our professional students advance in their careers or even pivot to a different career. So some of our students are looking to move further ahead in their existing career path to become senior level leaders. And the program provides them with the skills to make that advancement. And then some of our students are looking to change careers to a different industry or change their trajectory. And the program also provides them with the skills that they need for that transition as well. So again, it's a major investment of time and of money, but our alumni are very successful in either obtaining senior level positions or moving into new careers. And in terms of the outcomes, it really is personalized based on each individual student and what their goals are. But our degree provides the flexibility with electives to kind of customize the curriculum based on their individual goals. Gladys, did I miss anything or anything you wanted to add to that?
You did a great job, Brian.
Okay, great.
That our students are coming in with, 5 to maybe 20 years of experience, so a lot older than students in our full-time program. And so I think what they're looking for are skills that they are going to be able to implement within their organizations. And I think that's a huge value add. And so although a number of our alums or our students coming into the program are from nonprofit or government, and continue down that path, they're able to use the skill sets that have broad application to many different sectors and industries, including human resources.
Thank you, guys. Does anybody else from the panel want to address that question? Or should we pull another one? All right, so another question. I know for me, the part of the admissions process that was rather daunting and stressed me out was the essay, because there's so much you could write about and just didn't know which direction to go. So what can you say to make this less stressful for students or for applicants, and what should somebody include in their essay? And I will defer this to Brian again, or anybody else from the panel that feels like addressing that from the admissions side.
Sure, I guess I'll start with that. I would say for Heinz College, at least, what the admissions committee is looking from the essay is to learn more about your background, your academic background and your professional background. Then they're looking to learn more about your professional goals and to see how our degree can help you achieve those goals. So I would say authenticity is very important. Definitely share your story about who you are, what you're interested in, where you're hoping to go in your career, and how you see our degree as helping you to achieve your professional goals. But I would say authenticity is really important with your admissions essay. And definitely share your story with us so we can learn more about you.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, I know the pandemic has just changed the world in so many ways, and I'm sure it's affected the process for admissions as well. So, for example, how would an applicant explain either a bad semester or any other anomalies that may have been caused because of the pandemic or any other life situations that may arise? I think, Danielle, you mentioned that Roche University does work with applicants in those situations. So would you like to take this question?
Yes, we do. And I want to agree with what Brian said. The most important thing is to be authentic and be honest about what happened or what that situation was that, you may have been an anomaly for you. At La Roche, we have our certificate programs. So if you did not have such a great undergraduate record, or there's something else in your background, we give you a chance to prove yourself, because everyone's not the same person today that they were, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So we do give you a chance to get into the program, and that's through our certificate programs. I do think that some other schools may have some provisional acceptance, opportunities, but they can speak to that. But that's basically, we are about giving you a second chance. So if your GPA your undergrad GPA wasn't the greatest, you at least have a chance to prove yourself now.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add to that question?
I do. I just, I didn't really talk about this when I was talking about our admissions requirements, but I know someone else mentioned the conditional acceptance. That's something that we do at Point Park University also. It's kind of different for every program. Some programs have a pretty hard GPA requirement, but some programs within the School of Business, I know, like if your GPA is a little bit below the requirement, you can still apply and include your GMAT scores, which generally we don't require those unless someone's GPA is below the requirement. So I'm just saying that to say, even if you've had a hard time or whatever, someone else mentioned about being honest, maybe it might be worth mentioning in your statement of purpose, just be honest and upfront about, like, this is what happened, this is what I'm doing to get it corrected, etc. But if you're a little bit below the standards, I mean, nothing is a guarantee, but I definitely would still encourage you to apply and reach out to see if there might be something we can do for you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, so the resume is another question that always comes to mind, and it's primarily around how long a professional resume should be. I always hear that 1 page is enough, but everybody seems to have more than 1 page. So can you give us your thoughts on what a resume should look like for a college application? And Thomas, would you like to take this one?
Sure, absolutely. So since we have such a wide range of types of applicants, we get people who are coming just out of undergrad, who might not have such a long resume, and we also get people who may have been working for a long time and have a very long resume. So I feel like it's kind of difficult to say, in black and white, this is what your resume should or shouldn't look like. But I think, aiming to keep it like between 1 and 2 pages, a two-page max is probably a good idea. I think more important than the length of the resume, you just want to think about the audience of who's going to be reading your resume, and look at maybe at the requirements of the program you're applying to. Just an example, we have like a healthcare administration program. And one of the requirements for that program is that you have to have experience working in the healthcare industry. So if you're applying to a program like that has a clear requirement like that, maybe you'd want to focus on things like that in your resume. And if it's a little bit over a page, but everything on there is really relevant and good and shows all of your experience, I would say that's not really a big deal to the person reading it. So yeah, I would say, my advice, try to keep it under 2 pages, and just think about the relevance of what you're including on it, and you should be fine.
Thank you. So another question came into the chat, and I think this is an excellent one. So it's about time commitment. So for the classes, we know that we discussed the actual time for in class, but how much time do students who do well spend in completing the necessary work each week? So the outside class time, what do you guys recommend as a range for that? I guess actually let's go to each person. So Gladys is the first person I see next to my face on the screen. So
Absolutely.
Gladys, could you take that and then we'll just go through the line.
Sure. So what we say is about an average of 12 hours a week per class, including in class and outside of class. But that varies for an individual. If somebody coming into a course, they have a lot of background in it, so they may move faster. If it's a learning curve for someone, they may take that full 12. But so it's not hard and set, but that's about an average.
Thomas, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty in line with what we tell students as well. As Gladys mentioned, it really varies from student to student. But if you're trying to plan a little bit and think about it, I might consider, setting aside that much time, especially if maybe you've never done graduate level work before. Because, it's you're taking less credits per semester than you were as an undergrad. But the courses are just, they can be a lot more involved, and there might be a lot more work to do outside of class. So yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel like I read 12 hours a week and not personal stuff. Danielle, what do you think? Does that sound about right for your programs as well?
Yes, I would agree with that. And I agree with all the reading too. There is a lot of outside reading, so be prepared for that. Our classes they meet once a week for 4 hours. So then outside of that, you have all your extra coursework. So I would agree with what the other people said as far as the time commitment of hours needed per week. And every class is different too. You know, some require a little bit less than others. So, and as they said, every student is different too, according to how each student works.
And Shannon, I see you nodding your head. You're in agreement as well.
I am, yes. We usually say 12 hours per week as well, but just like the others have said, you know, some students have an expertise in certain areas where they may spend less time in that class. And then there could be other classes that are, you know, newer to them where you're going to spend a little more time. But yes, the average is about 12 hours per week.
Perfect, thank you. All right, does anybody else have any questions they want to post here in the chat? Or does anybody want to speak up and ask any specific questions? All right, so let's just close with, if each panelist could just say why your program? Why should somebody select your graduate program in just a one-liner? Gladys or Brian, would you like to address Heinz College? Why Heinz College?
Sure, I'd say that you will gain competitive skills that will make you very marketable, and to be able to advance either within your organization or pivot to a new area of interest.
Thomas?
Sure. For Point Park, I would say we offer a lot of flexibility and options within our programs, with, you know, the different modes of on-ground, online, and different concentrations. We're very willing to work with you. We have very dedicated faculty that can help you get where you're trying to go.
Thank you. Danielle?
So at La Roche, it is a master's in human resources. So all of the classes have to do with some aspect of the human resource function. So you get a really in-depth look at every aspect of human resources, not just, you know, it's a variety of things that you can learn about the whole HR function. So maybe you want to specialize in something specific, or you're just changing careers and you want a wider view. So it's only about HR in that program. And so if you're looking for that, that makes it great.
Thank you. And you, Shannon?
Robert Morris University School of Business has amazing faculty that our students can't say enough about. And if you do join our program, you're going to get to work with them from the very beginning all the way through your career and feel the support that you need as students, as well as the flexibility that you likely desire to have a work-life education balance in just a great curriculum that's based on real-world experience from our faculty.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. So this is the last call. Is there any other questions from any of the participants? And if any participants missed contact information, I'd be happy to share. If you want to follow up with an email to me, I'd be happy to get you the direct information of any of the universities here today. So thank you, Gladys, Brian, Thomas, Danielle, and Shannon for sharing your knowledge and expertise today with our members on your programs. We appreciate that. Thank you to the students or the potential students for participating and joining us to learn more. And just everybody out there, remember that the future of your profession is bright, and just by showing up here today and participating and learning about these programs shows that you have the drive necessary to thrive in your career. So let me know if you need any more contact information. Be happy, they're putting them on the chat there, but be happy to connect you with any of the universities here. So everybody, good luck to you with your next career steps, and we will talk soon. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you all.